Hi everyone, hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Vechain once again. Thanks for your support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. Thank you for your support across the board. Telegram, Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all of it. Even a YouTube channel. Sharing is caring. Thanks for sharing the video, and thank you for hitting that like button for me. Okay, thank you very much. Hope you find these videos educational and helpful in your crypto journey. Okay, and honestly, I've not got a crystal ball, and everything I say doesn't always come true. But I'll always just tell you what I see, okay? I won't feed you no spiel. And these are our technical targets, as you're fully aware. The $1.50, the Elliott Wave 5 right there, you know, and this Fibonacci extension as well, the 0.82 cents there, which we do anticipate, you know, these targets will be met in this bull run. But just because they're up there doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, the 100% going to happen. You're fully aware of all that. And obviously, you know, if we do start to lose support, you've got a breakdown target here, 0.35, 65977. If you do see one more large correction in the market right there, do anticipate that this is a potential bottom here and a fantastic entry point for Vechain. But what I want to show you right now, we're getting a squeeze on the EMAs, on the weekly especially. Okay, we're into a level of consolidation here. When you're between the EMAs, you're consolidating, you're fully aware, okay? And you've got the 20 coming down on the weekly. Don't forget it's the weekly. You've got 20 coming down and you've got the 55 creeping up. Now this forces something. It forces a break to the upside, or obviously a break to the downside. Okay, so do anticipate that a decision is going to be made relatively soon for Vechain, because you can see just here, okay, you got the squeeze just here where it starts to come together after multi-weeks of consolidation, boring flat consolidation, and this is potentially what you're going to go through. I've made you aware of that, you know, for Vechain. Very lackluster, isn't it? Very lackluster. The volume is not sort of great, is it? You know, the volatility is starting to be lost, basically, and that's always indicative of a bottom, to be honest with you. Because down here, you've got a very similar scenario. Consolidating, the volatility disappears. Everyone gets a bit bored, and all of a sudden, pew, you get the break in the volume, not, you know, because it was tailing off. It's tailing off, and then you get a break in the volume, more volatility, and add into more upside, basically. And the super bull trend started there, the wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Do you see that? So that's what we're anticipating. And you know, if we do have one more correction, so be it. And what a fantastic opportunity to put some bids in and get involved in Vechain. But you are holding really good structure here, so this might not actually come. Okay, it would be great if it did, for those that are not already involved, and we can get involved, but it may not come because you are actually holding a really key level of structure right here, and hopefully we've got the A, B, C correction out the way. There is an anomaly with Bitcoin though. A lot of people are anticipating a dump towards the middle of the month here in another couple of weeks. There is a certain, I think, Grayscale are dumping 16,000 Bitcoins are going to be unlocked and potentially going to be dumped on the market. This is what a lot of people are anticipating for crypto. So it might not happen, it might not, but I'm making you aware of it. Okay, so if we have a look at the RSI and the stock RSI and the MACD. The MACD is still a little bit overextended just there, in my opinion. So this could be a reason again for sort of one more dump and bottoming out. Basically have a little wick down, and this nasty correction, bounce back up and continuation. You know, your RSI, look at the RSI right here, you're right in this trend line. You remember when I took this on, we was up here, you know, and I was saying you really overextended here, be careful, you know, be careful. If we do start to roll, you know, this would be a fantastic entry. Look, I even drew this. Go back to one of the original times when we started to correct. I said this may offer a fruitful projection just there, and a fruitful entry point for Vechain to actually put some cheeky bids in and get involved in Vechain, because you can see, you know, when you come down to this trend line, this is where you get the bounce. You know, we're not quite come down to it just yet, we're just above it. So if we did have one more sort of roll, you know, could we come down to that line there, and that would be absolutely amazing on the RSI, because that's where you're getting the bounce. Like I said to you as well, look at the RSI. It's just a rinse repeat, you know. Look at the stock RSI, sorry, it's a rinse repeat. Look at the wave 2 pullback, wave 4 pullback. Hog the stock RSI, you come down to the trend line, you come down to the trend line, you're hogging the stock RSI, you're getting the MACD come down into the floor. You know, the bottom is very close, people, you know, for this bull market and the continuation of wave 5 and these projections up here for Vechain. I do see a lot of more upside for Vechain in this bull market, to be honest with you, again, but I've not got a crystal ball, and we may dump here and enter a bear market. You are fully aware of those projections right there. Okay, no, we can't see into the future, but again, I want to remind you, okay, that if we do drop, and I'll zoom out just to and show you, if we do lose the height of the first high of wave 1, which is down there at 0.236, if we do lose that potential high, and I'm going to drop that in right now, if we do lose that, that is invalidating Elliott wave theory right here, okay, you know, and a projection of this Elliott wave theory, the 5th wave. If we do come down to that particular level and lose it, then we're invalidating that structure right there, and we're possibly entering that sort of multi-year bear market right there for Vechain. So this is why we're standing by our projections. Okay, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5 up to those projections there, which tie in with our Fibonacci extensions, which you're fully aware of in previous videos right there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the close is extremely close. The close is extremely close. The bottom is extremely close. I mean, look at this fantastic, beautiful entry point right here. This in itself is a buy and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid. To be fair, you are very, very close here to the bottom for Vechain, and we're starting to paint some beautiful signals across a few alts here as well. So potentially we may not get that dump what everyone's anticipating. We may actually reject that dump, but the guy that's made the prediction is been bang on with his predictions so far. Okay, and he's calling for a 140 to a 160 Bitcoin by the end of the year, which would be absolutely fantastic, because you would see obviously Vechain carry with that, because like I've said to you so many times, Bitcoin is the steam engine pulling the cargo. Okay, whatever Bitcoin's doing, everything else will follow, and everyone gets disillusioned with the fact that they think that Vechain's a separate entity, or Chainlink or Ethereum, perhaps one day, yeah, but at the minute, no, until we get that sort of maturity within crypto, and Bitcoin's its own entity, and Ethereum's this world supercomputer, and bits and bobs like that, and Vechain is doing what it does in its special sort of niche, and it's front running, so to speak, and it's first mover advantage, which it is, it is, and it's solidified in that, then yeah, then whatever Bitcoin does, it won't affect these altcoins, so to speak. So that time will come, but as you're fully aware, we're moving in cycles to adoption, aren't we? Because these are ideas. What you're looking at here, this is an idea, okay? And it was born, and it's being raised and nurtured and pushed into existence. But it takes time, so you have to remember that, okay? And it works in waveforms, in cycles, and don't be disillusioned. You will enter a bear market, okay, unless we do enter something called a super cycle, and that's another little story we'll go down one day, but I don't want to bore you. But yeah, so far Vechain is doing relatively well, and actually you've broken out of a key level of resistance on the hourly time frame. There is an upper side target as well, which is good, so I'm going to show you right now on the hourly time frame. Outlook looking relatively healthy for Vechain. The only thing that can drag you down is Bitcoin. Okay, so right now we're going to jump to the hourly time frame and see what we can see for Vechain. Okay, so with Vechain on the hourly time frame, then you can see there's a couple of potential targets in here. Obviously you've got this ascending triangle just there, okay, and a W double bottom, so to speak. We do have to break that out target, and you can see if I show you, this is the target off a W bottom or the ascending triangle, depends which way you look at it, and you can see at that point you broke out just there. So that's the target at 10 cents basically, okay, and from that point just there, let's take a look at this. You can see from that point of the break of resistance, that's a 27% trade right there. But what's happened is Vechain has actually broke up, and you broke this key level of resistance as well, which is obviously this downwards resistance which you find yourself in. Okay, Cardano's done exactly the same. Okay, broken that multi-month level of resistance since you peaked out. Okay, and then obviously it's hitting its head. But what you've done, you ran into the golden ratio, which is the resistance of this impulsive wave down, which I've spoken to you about many times. Okay, you got this impulsive wave down, you start to retrace, you run into a level of resistance before continuation of a downtrend. So to break that impulsive wave down and continuity of the downtrend, you have to break the golden ratio, okay, and then obviously the 0786, which is your potential target of this ascending triangle on W bottom, and then you would be creating this reversal wave just like this, okay, coming back up to where you come from, breaking out at all levels of resistance, and potentially starting to march onwards and upwards for Vechain. Okay, and I would imagine at that point on the daily time frame, if you do break that, we'll have a quick look, you are breaking above the EMAs as well. Okay, let's zoom in here. You are breaking above the daily 20 and 55 EMA, which is really important. Okay, so going back to the hourly, we'll take a quick look at the hourly, because I can see straight away what's happening. You're in your head on the daily 20 at the moment. So there's another pattern in here which you've broken out of as well, which has a continuity target. I'll show you as well, because you've got a couple of patterns that you've broken out of, and like I said to you, the pattern that's in play is valid until validated away. But what's happening you're running into resistance. So two targets basically, the ascending triangle, the W bottom, you broke out of it, and this level of resistance, that's your target. Okay, but you ran into the golden ratio, the 0618 just there, you run into it as resistance, which is the retracement resistance of this large impulsive wave to the downside that you find yourself in for Vechain. Now if you can break that, great, you're looking at a big reversal wave. And obviously you've got this descending triangles, it's all triangles and triangles, isn't it? It's, you know, broken it, you created a triangle which you've broken out of just there, back to some support, continuation. Do you see that? Because from there you've got a target in itself as well, that target there. But what's happening is you've come up and you're creating a level of resistance which is a daily 20 EMA, unfortunately. So that is acting as a key level of resistance right now, okay? So you do need to see that broken, because if you don't, you're going to roll back down and you're potentially going to test this channel once more, falling back into it, and all of this has been a throwback. All of it has been a throwback just here, okay? So you come out, yay, we're off to the races, we've got targets. But you basically run into a key level of resistance which is a daily 20 EMA, rolling back, falling through this as support, and potentially coming down to make that lower low, which we've told you about, okay, for Vechain. So with that, what we need to see primarily to get these targets met for Vechain is just one thing. You've got to break the daily 20 EMA here, and you can see that you're failing to do that for Vechain. You run into it constantly as resistance. Do you see this? So what's happening is you're being forced into a rock and a hard place, and a decision will be made here for Vechain, because effectively, look at that, it's so indecisive. That's indecisiveness 101 just there. You're being forced to hold this as support, okay? Remember, that's support 050, and this is resistance. This is what you're going to see a decision for Vechain. It's either going to break above the daily 20, okay, or fall below the 050 Fibonacci retracement right there, carrying out this impulsive wave to the downside. Do you see that? So do anticipate that. If you do start to see the 050 lost, okay, and you're rolling and you see this trend line loss, you're falling back into this, potentially losing this bottom and creating a new impulsive wave to the downside, where I would imagine you get some cheeky bids filled down there for Vechain. And the reason is, obviously, it's got that swing low, that cluster just there. Look at that double M top pattern played out. I'm sure we've gone through that before, and that's that support, boom, just there. So yeah, for Vechain, you do want to see it hold, because if it doesn't, you know, this particular break here is being forced basically. Now it'd be great if it does pop to the upside. These are your targets, okay? These are the technical targets out of these patterns you created, and obviously we're forming this big reversal wave here, breaking above the daily 55, back to some support. That's your bullish cross signal right there. That's your buy and go to the beat signal from CoinsKid, and a potential market bottom just there, okay, for Vechain. But like I said to you, it's looking rosy, it's looking good, but there is an anomaly with Bitcoin, okay? Do pay attention to that anomaly with Bitcoin, and that is the potential market dump of those 16,000 Bitcoins on the 17th of July. You could see a massive dump for Bitcoin, which would obviously drag us down and send us lower for Vechain as well. So, I mean, it's looking rosy, isn't it? It's looking relatively good, but on the daily, you are running into this key level of resistance just here. So yeah, basically, you're under resistance on the daily. See that broken to 20. You're looking good for continuation and carry out these price predictions just here of CoinsKid, okay? What is good? What is good for Vechain, just like it is for Cardano? You've broken out this multi-month resistance just there, okay? You're not just going to up here overnight, but this is good that you're broken out of this, because, you know, usually this is the signal of a reversal of a trend. But right now you come back up and you're hitting your head on the 20, break that, and you're continuing, and you're looking great here for Vechain, because like I said to you, you've got a price prediction, okay? Your price prediction obviously is up there 82 cents and $1.50 in this bull run. So that's basically it. Take care everyone. We're back tomorrow with an update on Vechain. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.